eye base, ear base, nose base,
Okay.
the tongue base, the body base, and the mind base. I don't understand the word base. They had feeling for those same
Okay,
things.
so we'll start.
Okay.
Very good evening to everyone. Those who joined from different time zone. May you also be well, happy, and peaceful. May you all be able to concentrate on the meaning of the Dharma we discussed today. And I hope this would be a very good beginning of Sutta study class. I was not at the temple for several weeks due to visit that I do annually. During that period, I believe you somehow managed to think of the Dharma and based on suttas. Something you already stored in can be taken out as summaries, as facts of Dharma, and reflect on them for the benefit of you to cultivate the necessary conditions for Nibbana. I think you did that. So let's focus again those suttas that we admire so much and find the perfect qualities of samadhi and panya with sila, so that we will move forward to practice the Dharma to Nirvana. To begin with, I just want to recite Namo Tassa 3 times to pay the utmost respect to the Supreme Buddha. Let's join with me in doing such recitation as respect to the Supreme Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Sublime One, the Worthy One, the Fully Enlightened One. Homage to the Sublime One, the Worthy One, the Fully Enlightened One. Homage to the Sublime One, the Worthy One, the Fully Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear friends in Dhamma, we are going to begin this evening Sutta study class with compassion in mind. After several weeks of absence, I thought I select one of the beautiful discourses from the Nikaya, and that is why I selected Sammaditthi Sutta from the first part of the middle and discourses of the Buddha. Sammaditthi Sutta, or the discourse on the right view, is a very famous one in the entire canon because it talks about right vision. It talks about right view. Those who know about the Buddha's teaching into a great extent know the value of Sammaditthi to practice Sila, aggregates, and Samadhi and Panya. This quality, Sammaditthi, has 2 words. Samma is right. Ditti means view. As living beings, we all have views on different things. Views about life, views about the other living beings, views about the nature, views about the planet, views about life before and after death. So we have views on different things. We have views about the economy, politics, geography. We have concept, view, ideas. what we are talking about in this context is right view. That's mean the view that take us to peace and happiness is called right view. We have views that help us to be angry, frustrated, lunatic, mad, and we have views that increase the greediness, ignorance, and so many other negative things. But this view that we are going to explore is to calm down us and also find the way to everlasting peace and happiness. So that Sammaditthi Sutta is a kind of direction for us to follow each and every step of the noble Dhamma and find peace and happiness. This sutta is not delivered by the Buddha. It was delivered by Venerable Sariputta, one of the chief disciples of the Buddha. Those who are aware of the history of the Buddha and his teaching, of course, Buddhist history, know that Venerable Sariputta played a very important role in the entire canon, in the entire sasana. Venerable Sariputta is the foremost disciple for wisdom. After some time of the ministry of the Buddha, he had enough disciples to select for different things as leaders of the groups and concept and so forth. For example, Venerable Sariputta was appointed by the Buddha as one of the two disciples, great disciples of the Buddha. The other one is Venerable Mugalan, and Sariputta was selected as the other one that can lead the sasana. To appoint him as the chief disciple for wisdom, he had a lot of other skills as well. So that Venerable Sariputta is considered a very significant individual monk in the entire dispensation of the Buddha. He is the one who delivered this discourse to a group of monks. I would rather like to read the introduction so that you have a clear beginning of the sutta. And I don't think I would read each and every words of the sutta for you because it's too long. Thus I have heard, the Venerable Ananda said, thus I have heard. At one time, the Buddha was staying in the main monastery in Savatthi called Anathapindikarame. It was a monastery located near Savatthi, inside the Savatthi, but the environment was foresty because there was no one to disturb the monks at the monastery for their meditation, just because everybody respected the existence of Buddhism in that manner. So this monastery is called Anathapindikaram because it was built by the person called Anathapindika. So the Buddha was there along with monks, and at one time, the Buddha wanted to deliver, Buddha wanted to, disciples to deliver so many discourses. There, Venerable Sariputta talked to monks like brother monks. Then all these monks who were there ready to listen to Venerable Sariputta. Friends, one information that you want to know is that the Buddha accepted such erudite monks to delivering the Dhamma to other monks, particularly those who have finished their training on the Noble Eightfold Path and attain to enlightenment can go out and deliver the Dhamma for the benefit of many. So Venerable Sariputta attained to full enlightenment in a short period of time, and right after that he was traveling from place to place, from village to village, from town to town, and so forth, explaining the truth of life towards others. So Venerable Sariputta, whenever he is ready to deliver Dhamma, monks and nuns and even lay people, stop doing other things and listen to, because they are very meaningful. They are very legitimate and very wise explanation. They are always in Venerable Sariputta's sermon. So here we see from the discourse that the group of monks over there is not known, but we can assume that it is a group of monks that always love to listen to the Dharma. Venerable Sariputta says, brother, the other monks asked the question, Bhante, we know the fact that everybody is talking about right view, because it is very important for the Dharma practice. So everybody is talking about right view. In what way, brother is a noble disciple or disciple of right view, whose view is straight, attain to wise faith in the Dharma, and one who has arrived at this true teaching. Simply, the question is about right view and which way one can one can have this right view in mind. Friends, when you hear this word right view, what do you mean by that? Is it something you observe outside, or is it something you acquire, or is it something that should be practiced in your mind? I think it is a quality that we should plant in our vision, in our mind, so that our vision is going to be accurate, up to the truth. Without samadhi, without right view, we are not be able to clear everything as it is. I will give you an example. Without right view, you are not going to control your anger. You are not able to find solutions for your day-to-day problems. You never believe that there is life after death. You never believe that you can purify your mind to the fullest and end suffering. You are not going to believe any of those things without right view. That means, friends, right view is the clear understanding about everything about in life. If you look at yourself, you see that, okay, myself is a construction of a collection of various materials. The body that I carry is impermanent and is subject to illnesses, so that I may be able to live peacefully, always keeping myself on the right track. So this is called right view, right? So that the monks over there ask the question, in what way we talk about right view? Is right view, when there is right view, is it helping the person to be accurate in his thinking? What exactly happening for a person who has right view? These are some of the concern bhikkhus had at that moment, and they were without any hesitation asked from Venerable Sariputta, because they know that Venerable Sariputta is wise, intelligent, and a scholar on the Dharma, so that we can get clear answers. Then indeed, monks, we would come far, of course, I'm going to explain you this. Those who come from faraway places, I should treat them. That is the attitude Venerable Sariputta had, so that Venerable Sariputta explain what is right view. Friends, in this sutta, as I said, we have 16 definition for right view. In other words, the right view is explained in 16 ways. Not one way, but couple of ways, and the number is 16. So that's mean everything is covered in this discourse about right view. So Venerable Sariputta, one after the other, explain everything based on the formula. Out of 16, about 14 are explained based on the Four Noble Truth formula. What is that Four Noble Truth formula? In Four Noble Truth, we talk about the suffering as an essence, and we talk about the arising of suffering, and then thirdly, we talk about the cessation, and the last thing we talk about the path leading to the cessation. So this is called formula. It's like we have a illness, for example, and how illness come into exist, and what causes condition the illness, and then alleviation or ending of illness is been talked with the doctor, and then we take medicine to end the illness. So this is kind of Four Noble Truth formula. Based on that, we see many of the aspects of the Sammaditthi Sutta is discussed by Venerable Sariputta. Therefore, this is a very interesting discourse. If I mention you the 16 subtopics that we discussed to clear what Sammaditthi is, the first one is the unwholesome and the wholesome. Akusala and Kusala. Akusala Mula and Kusala Mula. These are the things we discuss first to clear what Sammaditthi is. In other words, if you understand what is unwholesomeness and wholesomeness, it means you have right view, right? In the teaching, we know that Dasa Kusala, there are 10 types of wholesomeness and also 10 types of unwholesomeness. So that is what we discuss here. Venerable Sariputta says, when a noble disciple understands the wholesomeness, when a noble disciple understands the root of the unwholesomeness, when a noble disciple understands the wholesomeness, and when he or she understands the root of wholesomeness, that is called right view. With regard to Kusala and Nakusala, this is called right view, right? So then that's mean those who haven't read this discourse before, or those who haven't listened to any Dharma talks on Sammaditthi might find difficulty in understanding the Sammaditthi, subtopics of Sammaditthi. Therefore, I have compassion to make it clear further. As I told you, Sammaditthi is just like our neck. It's just like our brain. You cannot keep your head on top of the body without the neck. So if there is the neck connected your body to the head, then you can exist. Otherwise, you're already dead. Likewise, without Sammaditthi, you are not able to develop compassion, kindness, samadhi, any type of sila, any type of panya. So that, friends, Sammaditthi is really, really important. That's why it is located as a Dhamma element. It is located as the first one out of 8. So Sammaditthi, therefore, is called understanding everything as it is. Suppose you go to the kitchen and you see various things such as cups, plates, knives, pork, water, cooked food items, raw materials for, your meal. You see many things in the kitchen. When you see them, one after the other together, you quickly understand that they are impermanent everything that I have in my kitchen is impermanent, so that I should not worry about the any loss of any of those properties. So this is called samadhi. Suppose you will get out of the building after the Sutta studies and you feel cold. It's so difficult to bear. But immediately you think that this is the nature and I should be able to, stay connected with it in a way that I find kind of happiness. So that is called samadhi. You see the things around you clearly with understanding, right? So what are the other samadhis that we can easily grab on? Suppose you're angry on something that somebody did. So now you're angry. So you quickly understand that anger is negative. Anger is fire-like things. It could burn myself before it goes to somebody else, so that I should be away from anger and let compassion and kindness develops further. This is called samadhi, right? Suppose you watch TV and these days you see nothing but the war, any sort of analysis about the war, food distribution, helping people who need our help. So these are the things you see in the television, in the social media. Suppose you take a side and blame the other side, and you're mad at with your colleagues who talks about something different from you. So you are angry, you're upset by seeing the happenings in the world. So that is called lack of samadhi, because you forget the reality of this kind of thing. When people have ignorance, greedy mind, and very other things, they are not surviving well in the world because they have given negativities to the society. So having seen these things from your wisdom, you are in samadhi, right? So now the other thing is, suppose you heard about passing of somebody in the city. It could be your relative, it could be a friend, it could be a unknown person. As soon as you heard the news that somebody passed away, what you really think, if you follow samadhi, it is so sad that we lost this particular friend. It's a great loss, but anyway, this is common to everyone. Death is common to everyone, and even myself will be in the among the dead. That is the life is. So whenever you hear a loss of somebody's life, this is the thing you need to take into your mind. It is everything is impermanent. So my friend and myself, in 10 years' time, we may be in the among the dead, so that we should be able to live peacefully. This is called samadhi. But in the discourse, Venerable Sariputta is talking about the samadhi in a very academic way, because he is talking to bhikkhus who have already entered into the deep teaching, heard that Venerable Sariputta is passing by, so that they wanted to get the maximum from Venerable Sariputta, not just simple explanation, but very deep. So first of all, kusala and nakusala. Why do we want to know what is kusala and what is akusala, what is wholesome and what is unwholesome? Because then we can end akusala. We could be able to be away from wrongdoings, because we know that when we do this wrong thing, not only people around us blame, but the negative karmic energy is going to be so powerful. Perhaps right after that, you will be in very desperate situation. Why this happened? Because you did not understand what is good, what is wholesome, and what is unwholesome. But if you understand what is wholesome, you guard your senses, particularly you penetrate before you speak, before you do something, and before you say something, so that you think just like me, who became so he becomes so happy to hear nice word, and everybody else also would like to do the same thing. In other words, as a person, I don't want to hear negative things about me from others. We always like to hear something good. So then what happened is we would be able to, understand the wholesomeness and unwholesomeness are very important practices in the teaching. So this is called samadhi. So samadhi is therefore not just kind of conversation about it, but it has to be in our physical, verbal, and mental training. When you talk about dasa kusala and dasa akusala, 10 wholesomeness, 10 unwholesomeness, it's all about physical, verbal, and mental actions. So here, Venerable Sariputta says, if a noble disciple understand wholesomeness, unwholesomeness, root of wholesomeness, root of unwholesomeness, she is going to understand the way out of wholesomeness, unwholesomeness, and the root of unwholesomeness. Because you are aware of this is wrong, this is negative. It is the beginning of knowing the right thing. So that is why Venerable Sariputta spent some time by explaining the wholesomeness and unwholesomeness at the very beginning of this particular discourse. What exactly unwholesome state, as you remember, is killing living beings wholesome or unwholesome? Unwholesome. Why? It gives pain, fear, and so many other negative things for the other party. If you are going to kill an animal, it's really negative because you give pain and frustration, hatred, ill will to the other living person. So killing is unwholesome, stealing is unwholesome, and sexual and sensual misconduct is unwholesome. False speech, malicious speech, harsh speech, frivolous chattering always, they are all unwholesome. And covetousness, that's mean greedy mind, and then ill will and wrong view about everything. They are psychologically wrong, negative-minded, and unwholesome for each and everyone. Therefore, they are called 10 unwholesome status of life. So knowing about these things lead you to be morally wholesome, physically, verbally, and mentally. And we see abandoning from killing living beings, stealing, misconduct, false speech, negative speech, and so forth is a wholesome thing. That way you are leading yourself into peace and happiness. So in the explanation for the Venerable Sariputta says these are the unwholesome thing you can do, but the consequences are really dangerous. Not only you suffer in this very life, but you of course carry something to the next life and you suffer from there. So that is what Venerable Sariputta said in explaining the first fact of the Samadhi out of 16. The next one is, oh, I forgot to tell something here. What are the root causes of unwholesomeness and wholesome? How this unwholesomeness come up with? What kind of things you should have in your mind if you have unwholesomeness in your speech, actions, and also thinking. Yeah, Lobha, Dosa, Moha, the three unwholesome roots are there in our mind. That's why we have unwholesome behaviors. If there are no these three unwholesomeness in our mind, we are not going to make our words, actions, and thinking bad, negative, because the essence has been gone. So the root causes of unwholesomeness are, greed, hatred, and ignorance. Now you can easily understand what are the root causes for wholesomeness. It's non-greed, non-hatred, and non-delusion or non-ignorance. So whenever Sariputta, I think, explained them clearly, basically, and having explained that these are the root causes for wholesomeness and unwholesomeness, these are the 10 wholesomeness and unwholesomeness. Having cleared these things to Venerable Mahasangha there, he says finally, if one is able to understand the wholesomeness, unwholesomeness, the root of wholesomeness and the root of unwholesomeness, clearly, they are going to understand the latent tendency of lust, the latent tendency of aversion, the latent tendency of, wrong view, or the view that I am here. So when you continue to practice 10 kusala by avoiding 10 akusala, you are going to know what exactly you do and who you are, and further you are inclined into right thinking, that if I am able to understand the right 10 kusala and akusala exactly as they are, and if I am able to lead the family members to do the same thing, I am going to have first less latent tendency of aversion, and the lust and wrong view, but you of course are going to empty your mind from those latent tendencies. The Pali word for latent tendency is anusaya, right? The kilesa, the unwholesomeness that lie under in our mind, and they are coming out only when the causes for it appear. Latent tendencies may not be able to easily identify because they always sleep in the mind in a safer place. Therefore, taking the underlying tendencies out from our mind is difficult, and when you attain to a full enlightened beings, you destroy them completely, and you pull them out from your mind completely. Otherwise, attainment to enlightenment doesn't work as well. So whenever Sariputta says, if you are able to understand what is kusala and what is akusala, what is kusala mula and what is akusala mula, that is the opening for you to understand the latent tendencies such as lust, ill will, and mana, the conceit. There you have the chance of taking these underlying tendencies of your mind out of it, right? These are called ashrava. If you remember the way the Buddha attained to full enlightenment, at last he confirmed himself as the self-enlightened Buddha by destroying ashravas, latent tendencies. Therefore, Venerable Sariputta conclude the first part of the sutta by saying that if one is able to end suffering, he is going to, be a nice, very wise person. In that way, Venerable Saraswati, this is the way that you monks can practice Sammaditthi. This is one of the approaches for Sammaditthi. Usually, monks at the time of the Buddha ask questions, and they do not limit questioning just for one or two. They have done it quite often because they want to know the right Dhamma. At the same time, they want to know how they should explain the path to Nirvana. So that they always ask a couple of questions and keep them in mind as a matter of preserving Dharma. So here, after Venerable Sariputta explained what is wholesomeness, what is unwholesomeness, he finished it, and the Venerable monks asked another questions just to know something else about Samadhi. Then we see from the discourse that Venerable Sariputta, Venerable Sariputta explained about the food. Venerable Sariputta, might there be another way in which a noble disciple is one of right view, whose view is straight, attain to wise faith in the Dharma, and one who has arrived at this true teaching? Is there any other way that it could be explained? Sometimes we ask these similar questions from various people. If you don't understand certain things about certain things, then you might ask, can you explain the same thing in a different way so that I can understand well? Something like that they did here. They say, okay, we know what you first said. It's so far clear. But could you please explain the same thing in a different way? What is Sammaditthi? How can one become, Sammaditthi and wise? Then Venerable Sariputta, out of compassion, said, yes, I know another way, and it's all about food. If a noble disciple understand food, ahara, and the understand the arising of food and the ending of food and the path leading to the ending of, that's way you could be a person with Sammaditthi. If you understand what ahara and how ahara is going to be, and how you destroy desire for ahara, and which way it could be practiced. So if you have this kind of vision with about ahara, that's when you have Sammaditthi. But friends, this ahara is not something we just think. Perhaps with the Pali word ahara or Sinhala word ahara, you think the meal you take. Breakfast, lunch, supper, and then dinner. With the word ahara, we really mean what we take into our mouth and swallow. That's called ahara. But the meaning we use here is same as well as different, because with the word ahara, we think about various things such as feeling, such as thoughts, such as consciousness, and along with anything we eat from our mouth. In other words, friends, there are 4 types of ahara. Kabalinka ahara, the ahara, the food that we put into our mouth and break it into small pieces and so that's called kabalinka ahara. Even medicine include into this one. Then mano sanchetana ahara, the volition, is also a kind of source for us to live. Actually, the very Pali word ahara means the source, a condition, right? So any food items we eat, we drink, we take into our body is called kabalinka ahara, because we break big parts into a smaller one and use it. That's called kabalinka ahara. Then what do you call manosanchetana ahara is intention. Something we intend to do is called intention. Then vijnana ahara, consciousness is considered as a food. What do you mean by consciousness? This is too technical now. consciousness means being able to be aware of seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching, and thinking. In other words, consciousness means awareness. What do you become aware of? You become aware of what you see, what you hear, what you sense, and what you cognize. That's called vinyan. And then the fourth type of food is contact. If our senses do not find contact, we cannot think that we see something, we hear something. So they are all important things to understand. That's why Venerable Sariputta said, okay, if you want to clear your samadhi, if you want to make your samadhi straightforward, then what you need to do is to have better understanding about what you consume, whether it is ahara or drinks that you should do, or something you feel, something you sense. They are all called ahara. So if you know the ahara, the food, and the existence of ahara, there you are going to stop greedy mind for ahara. At the end of the explanation, Venerable Sariputta says, if one is able to understand what ahara is, and if one is able to understand the desire for ahara, and if one is able to understand ignorance about ahara, these are the important elements of the Dhamma in you, because you are entering into deep teaching, right? So Venerable Sariputta answered clearly, and then we can see that Venerable Sariputta is invited to explain Samadhi in a different way. So I have been talking a lot as the introduction, in the introduction and also explanation. If you want to speak, if you want to ask questions about it, please take your time, and I'm so happy to answer these questions, because Samadhi Sutta is deep and each factor has a lot of information. I would recommend you to glance through it so that you know what exactly happening. So anyway, I stop talking here, but allow you to express yourself what exactly Samadhi and how you are going to practice it. So you can have the chance of talking about Samadhi now. What is your view? What is your Samadhi about Samadhi?
The question I have is about base. It talks about samadhi base. And
Samadhi is working as a base, like in a house. If you are going to build a new house, you made the foundation strong in order to make the house construction a success. If the pavement, if the foundation is weak, the house is going to collapse at a storm, maybe a terrible wind, because you made the house on a less strong foundation. So if the foundation is so strong, support the whole house, there is nothing wrong happen. Likewise, Samadhi plays a big role in every dharma aspect. So Samadhi, therefore, is the foremost of everything. So that's why Samadhi is considered as the base.
The base.
Base for Nibbana. It works as a strong base for Nirvana, achieving Nirvana.
Right view.
Yeah. Actually, this kind of Sutta studies or any type of discussion are designed for clearing Samadhi. Because when you discuss Dharma, you are going to know more about your body, more about your mind, and you find yourself how to analyze this and that, so that this kind of discussion frequent gathering also is action of developing samadhi.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's how it works as a basis. I was trying to tell you how samadhi is understood with simple thing in day-to-day life, with your type of attitude towards what is happening around. And suppose you break a glass of water by falling it onto the ground, and then if you had samadhi, you are not going to blame anyone, by yourself into a certain extent, because you know that the glass is subject to break. And even though it was your mistake, you forgive yourself that it could happen to me too, right? So without samadhi, you might be a very difficult persons to handle, because you act whatever you think. So samadhi, therefore, plays a big role in taking us from wrongdoings and so forth. So samadhi is everywhere. If I ask the question, why are you practicing sila? What would be the answer from? Why do you practice first,
Or
precepts?
right view.
For right view. Because whatever moral principles we practice on everyday basis is to develop right view. And without right view, you are not going to practice sila. We can think about it in other way around. So right view is the very quality in our mind to take decision that I should be away from killing living beings, because killing living beings gives me suffering at some point of my life cycle. And stealing can make me sad at some point of my life, because I'll be caught by the security. And of course, when I steal someone else's property, how difficult that first owner is, because he cannot remember how he he or she or he managed the situation. So you think of their pain in your own point of view as something you belong. So therefore you don't steal. You think that stealing is really bad. It is samadhi.
But if someone knows that the killing is a bad thing, but if he's killing somebody, but he has a vision that is wrong. So
Yeah, many people, even young kids, know that killing is really bad, but still they do it because of the power of unwholesomeness in their mind. Their samadhi is in initial stage. We didn't talk about the two kinds of samadhi. Samadhi that is being practiced by average people. It's called mundane samadhi. And the samadhi that is with those individuals who attain to at least to the first stage of enlightenment is called lokuttara samadhi. So those who know that this is wrong still they are doing it. They have average samadhi. Right? They know the fact that this is wrong. They know that there are karmic consequences, but still they do, because their mind is not settled yet. They have no powerful samadhi yet. That's why they do it. Even I think even butchers, even those people who kill animal on every day, they know that this is really negative. That they do not allow themselves to investigate further because they can lose their jobs and their mind is completely disturbed by different views. Sometimes some religion speak of killing animals is good, but that is because of lack of samadhi.
So I learned that it's intention, right? Like, we're allowed to eat meat if the meat we buy, we didn't kill it, we didn't intend to kill it. Right? So,
Yeah. So eating meat or any animal product is a discussion from time immemorial. Right? We haven't found a right answer and wrong answer. So even the Buddha had not given that this is right answer, this is wrong. So he had you know allowed us to decide. But killing animals is negative. But eating meat, eating fish, according to the Vinaya and Dhamma rules and regulation, he has not prohibited from eating. If you want to eat it because it's a food, and when you eat food, there is no killing happening. But you can argue that because of your consumption, people who actually kill animals increase killing animals. Suppose you stop eating meat and fish and any animal products. Do you think that these people who are professional of killing stop killing living beings?
no, well, there'll be less of them because there won't be demand. But I don't know. But
Yeah, if you think that that my contribution for killing animal should be stopped by eating vegetables, and if you strongly believe that, you have to do it because that's how you feel it.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, but those who still eat meat may also be able to practice Dhamma because they think that I do not kill any animals. I do not complete the action of killing intentionally, but my intention is to accept the food that I collected. That's all he or she thinks.
Mm.
So we cannot pinpoint that they accumulate demerits by eating meat.
Yeah, and also meat is good food. It's good food.
But even to cultivate paddy field, the farmers use pesticides.
Yeah.
So that is also killing.
Of
Yeah.
course, when you dig the ground for making the nurseries, you kill a lot of animals.
Yes.
And when you grow vegetable, as he said, you use pesticides and different materials, different liquid to protect the final products. Yeah, you do not think twice to kill living beings. You do.
Yeah.
So therefore, we cannot go into extreme in this regard and decide this is right, this is wrong. What we can do is to keep our compassion and kindness even for those innocent animals who are killed and never intend to kill living beings, because when you eat meat that you purchase from the shop has no living entity in it. It's like the potatoes, it's like tomatoes, it's like a plate of rice. It's a food. So you have no intention there that I'm going to kill an animal and eat. So the karma whether it is good or bad, is going to be a concern if you have intention when you do the karma. It works for both ways. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, very
I
good.
may disagree with you, Bantiji.
Mustafa, yes.
Yeah, I may disagree with you a little bit on this matter because if I go to a grocery store and buy meat, that meat is killed for me because I am a consumer.
Yeah.
If I am not buying that one, that animal would not be killed for me. So I am a part of whole system, which is not right. So in that way, I think samadhi is the way that you eliminate eating meat or fish or anything so that no animal would be killed for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Yes, if you think that you do not contribute for killing animals by avoiding purchasing meat and no any other products, I agree with that, because that's how that's how the individual thinks. That's why the Buddha did not make a rule for this, because would allow us to decide our own way of eating meat or not. Because if you feel that you are contributing for killing animals by eating meat or any animal products, it makes a kind of barrier for your compassion and kindness.
One
Right?
thing I think this has three aspects. One is you kill an animal, then eat that meat. Then the second part is you go to a store and buy the thing. And the other one is somebody serving you meat. You
Yeah.
didn't buy that one. So in the second one, most of us have that idea. Yes, somebody killed this animal for us. But my thinking is that still you are part of that process. You may not be thinking, but in your back of your mind, yes, somebody killed that animal for me. But say, especially for monks, right? Somebody serving meat, then it's okay, I suppose, because you don't know anything about that meat really. Somebody serve you, that's all. So I think there are not two subtle things really. Killing is definitely not somebody's killing and eating that meat. So it is, I think, a little bit of a difficult thing to visualize was the best thing. So uh, try to cut down on at least purchasing the meat, right? Because you know that somebody killed that animal for me, especially as a small, like a fish or something like that, right? They
Yeah.
catch fish one by one, right? If you go into a lake and try to catch that, so especially lake fish. Anyway, freshwater. So anyway, these are something that we have been grappling for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the thing, we might have an idea about this, this is right, this is wrong, but at the same time, it has to be individual decision, right? We cannot say that, okay, this is my view, that that demerits could come to you because you are eating meat, whether you buy it or whether you receive it. So this is how I think. There is a public view about this always, and this is where the Buddha emphasized the intention. Not with regard to particular eating meat or so. Every time Buddha talks about karma, he clearly says that intention. We cannot directly say that those who go to the market and purchase meat had that intention in mind of killing living beings. It is true that you become a part of the process of killing a living beings, and it, of course, when you cultivate vegetables, you don't have intention of killing living beings, but you kill living beings. There we agree that you do not accumulate demerits, but we have a hard time to agree that we go to the market and buy or meats and any animal products and no any demerits. So that is why this discussion has no yes and no answer. It's up to individual to decide. Because even when you grow in lentils, when you grow banana, when you grow beans, when you grow potato, tomato, you dig the ground and there you kill living beings without any intention of killing living beings. And when you grow vegetable, when you preserve them, when you from the very beginning to the end of the process, you have no intention of killing living beings. Your intention is to make a product, make a food. So that's your whole intention. But at the same time, you unintentionally killing living beings. And when you go to the market to buy fish, buy meat, buy any animal products, you do not have intention of intention that the butcher should kill more animals for me and everybody else, but you never think about it. So there we have an idea that we become a part of the process of killing living beings. I think the idea is to consider whether I personally accumulate merits or demerits out of this action.
Yeah, also, after the animal is dead, well, what will happen to the animal if it's just going to be buried in the ground? Well, it's not as valuable as using the nutrients from the animal for us to do more work and in life, So
The other thing is that this is not something we should consider when we buy animal products, but this has to be addressed too. Suppose I personally and you personally stop eating meat or any animal products just because it is not good for me. But at the same time, animals to be animals, to be born as animals, they have done a lot of demerits. They were either humans or similar type of living beings before, and they did a lot of wrong doings. That's why they have now become animals. So part of their karma is to be a victim of somebody. It doesn't mean that every animals become a victim of somebody or someone other animals. Suppose lion eat deer, tigers eat other animals. So because of being an animal, you are open to all kinds of tortures. So even Buddha was not able to stop killing living beings at the time, explaining all the things he knew. He knew better than us. He had the best abilities to explain karmic forces behind killing living beings. He did that, but people did not stop that. And there are instances that some monks accept meat, other animal products when people offer, and Buddha did not go to stop it. Venerable Devadatta, one of the relatives of the Buddha, came to the Buddha asking 5 rules for monks. One of them is monks and nuns should be vegetarian throughout their life. Buddha did not accept that because if he considered the social, consideration about killing living beings as such, the Buddha could have accepted the request made by Venerable Devadatta. He did not, because the Buddha know that demerits could happen in such a way, but accepting meat, and of course even a lay person go to the market and buy a meat product doesn't give him or her that demerits from killing living beings. I think the very idea that we need to consider is desire for food. Sometimes people have more desire for vegetarian than those people have desire for meat products. The attachment to food is the dangerous thing, not this particular idea we discussed so far. I have seen that people who eat only vegetables have greed for vegetables, and their level of greed is much more than those people who eat fish or meat. At the end of the day, what you should consider is your attachment. Right? Sometimes people are there who eat whatever available without thinking too much of it. That's all they do for that's all they do with regard to meal. But some people attach to their food, and not only they attach, with attachment we accumulate other demerits as well. So I think by considering all these facts, if you think that buying meats, fish, or any other animal products gives you demerits, I think you have to stop eating meat, fish, or any animal products, because that's how you understand it. But those who understand that eating meat, buying fish, buying meat from the market is okay for me because I'm not killing a living beings. Of course, because of your buying, they kill, but still you have no intention of direct intention of killing. So if you think that you're right, just go and do it, because you are careful about your own mind with regard to attachment. So that's the thing I can tell. And in order to survive, for example, when we take food for survival. We take food for existence. So if you have that idea in mind, you try to survive with anything you receive. For example, for us as monks, I know that some monks do not eat meat or animal products, any animal products. The devotees who make food for them always have to cook different food items than they eat. So I think they have kind of, the people have kind of little burdens on making food, because at home they eat all kind of food, but at the same time when they come to cook food for this particular Bhantes or nuns or bhikkhus or bhikkhunis, they have to have some attention to cook. So then if this temple has 2 monks who eat any type of food and 2 monks are vegetarian, then the devotees who bring food have a lot of troubles. Because they know that 2 monks do not eat any animal products, but 2 monks eat anything. So they have to cook a couple of items with with animal products, let's say fish or whatever, and they have to be careful of. So I think personally that why should I, as monks, why should I give people some troubles in making my food? Because Buddha has not created such rules for us. Because there are a lot of ideas for both sides. I think not only both sides, there are 3 or 4 sides in this particular aspect. So Sammaditthi here is up to the personal level. We cannot say that this is completely wrong, this is completely right, this is wrong, we cannot put such things on this particular aspect. So what is Sammaditthi here is what you think right. If you think that I cannot eat meat or any animal product just because I remember animals, I remember that I become a part of it, then stop eating meat, buying meat. Don't do that, because you should protect your mind. That's how you understand it. Pay attention to your own training. Then if you think that eating meat is okay because I can develop other quality, all the Dhamma qualities, this is how the Buddha admire. So go on as you understand and try your best to get away from attachment. So that's what I think Sammaditthi is about, this particular fact.
So, do we have time to
Yes,
ask?
I can
Yeah.
give you a few.
I add to that, in regards to samadhi or right view of the things, because if we have a right view of the things, which is the subject of today,
Yeah.
then again, going back to this eating or not eating of animal or non-animal, the right view is the one that is less harmful to the nature and at the same time good for nutrition of the body. So my belief is that human being, they have higher frequency, which is the energy of God based on, if we measure it based on frequencies, let's say that 50 kilohertz or 50 hertz per whatever it is, the animal would be like 35, which is lesser than human being energy. So, and goes on to the plant, which is, let's say, they have energy because they grow, they feeling, they do whatever like human beings are. From the seed, they produce seeds, which like human being producing babies, and then become another tree. So in a similar way, we are all having some kind of energy of God, but at different frequency. Let's say a plant is 10.
Yeah.
So in a samadhi or right view of the thing is that we choose the one which is less harmful. That means we have to choose the plant which has lesser frequency and lesser harmful than choosing an animal to kill, which is have higher frequency of energy of God. So when we talk about samadhi or righteousness, we have to go with that one. Yes, it is optional. Yes, but then we are not talking about, or we have some notes here for samadhi. You know, that's not a full samadhi. But when we practice samadhi or right view of the things, we have to choose the best one, which is good for us.
Yeah.
So in that respect, if we say it is needed for the body, killing an animal, then why would an elephant, which eats only grass, his muscles and body are much bigger than us? So in a way, the body produces whatever it needs if you give him even little things. So we don't need to go and buy the animal products or kill an animal product in order to our needs. It's not the samadhi in a perfect way, or it's not the right view of the things. That's all what I wanted to add.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your ideas, for your comments and addition. So there are a lot of things to add. I think I appreciate what you said throughout your comments, the balance of the nature, and then the frequency and all these good points. So thank you so much for your nice explanation. I think now time is 9:40, 9:20 here. We spend some minutes more today in the Sutta Studies. I said that there are about 16 aspects of Samadhi in the Samadhi Sutta. We took only 2. Next week, we'll cover the other aspect of Samadhi depending on the time. So now I'm going to end today's session. Thank you for your participation here at the temple and also through Zoom meeting. Your ideas about life, about Samadhi, about various other aspects are really appreciated. I think everyone who never say a word might consider your ideas as valuable, and they will strengthen their practice for enlightenment. So merit should go to you for your contribution. So having said that, let's make a final thoughts for today. By the power of this good deed we all did together, may we all be able to complete our training for peace and happiness and stay in peace. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.